I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
And I think this is important. Liam, I'm just going to read the question, and then I'll tell you why I think it's important after we've answered it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Did all transgender people have a phase in their childhood where they gravitated towards the opposite sex's typical interest? Curious to learn if most male to female were interested in things like Barbies, nail polish princesses, and didn't like trucks, trains, and dinosaurs. Didn't know dinosaurs were gender specific. And female to male gravitated towards more masculine toys and never felt interested by sparkles, unicorns, and tiaras.
First of all, certainly not all trans people anything. We're all different. We all have different tastes, but I think
all trans people nothing, right?
A lot of transgender people, I think, probably gravitated toward that stuff. I got a kind of a harsh wake-up call from my parents really at a really young age that kind of shoved me into the closet really hard, and that happened at 5 years old. I did like playing with trucks and like general typical boy stuff. I love playing with trucks. I love playing in the dirt.
To this day.
No. Well, to this day, I like cars.
First thing you came and visited for a month, and half of your luggage was Tonka trucks, and you were out in the backyard. That's
not true. And I had so much luggage.
You did have a lot of luggage.
I brought so many. I was like fucking Lucille Bluth on that trip. Anyway, I had general boy interests, like, for sure. But also, like, I definitely had girl interests. I liked dolls and I liked the frilly things, but I wasn't allowed to express it. Like I said, I got a sharp scolding from my parents at age 5 that like threw me into the closet, and I knew better, or I didn't know better, but from my perspective at the time, I knew better than to express myself in that way. I felt that wasn't okay, that I wasn't supposed to do that. And for the record, my parents are way good like now, but and it was a different time and all that. But I did like that stuff. I definitely had a proclivity for feminine things my whole life. Like there's no question about that.
Either or, like I don't think that matters. I think the main thing to say is just like that's not what being transgender means. So like I think people like you'll see like right wingers all the time. I was like, well, when I was a girl, I loved softball and I wore overalls and like the schools would be forcing me to transition. That's not being trans is identifying with the other gender. Liking to play with dolls doesn't mean you're transgender. Whatever you like is what you like. Your gender is not connected to that. I was more the other way where like I super went into guy stuff. Like I was obsessed with sports when I was a kid, and I think that's because of kind of hiding whatever my little 12-year-old brain was thinking.
Well, that was the other part about it.
But like that was the other thing. So like I was thinking about this say like when I was a kid during like football season, I would watch all the games are on TV on Saturday, college football. I'd watch all the NFL games on Sunday. I was constantly playing sports. I was constantly watching sports. I was completely obsessed with sports. And then as I got older, it started to go away. And then when obviously I still cried this week when the Brewers blew their wild card series. Like that was rough. I cried when the Bucks won the world title a few years ago. But like I do not follow it as obsessively as I used to.
Sorry.
Hey, that hurt.
Shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing.
Bob Uecker's going to die, and the Brewers
Bob Uecker is going to die, and that makes me so sad.
He's never going to see the Brewers win a World Series. That's so sad. But my main concern with that question is like if you're a parent and your daughter loves playing with trucks, like that doesn't mean, your daughter's I'm sorry. I meant to say two things. I almost said a transgender.
Well, thank you for not saying that.
I was going to say two different things, and it came out wrong.
Thank you for not being horrible. Thanks, Caitlyn Jenner.
Just because your child, your boy likes dolls, or your daughter wants to play with trucks, or your daughter loves to play softball, that doesn't mean your child is transgender. And I think that that's kind of like this old way of thinking about what transgender is, and you see that where people like, well, the kids. That's why it comes with the schools. The schools are putting these kids in transition.
My boy.
Oh yeah. He ate a piece of cake with pink frosting, and he came back and he had a neo.
Came back and he was trans.
It's just stupid.
It is real stupid.
Each person is different. I think every individual has likes or dislikes that are not tied to their gender. I love cakes with all kinds of frosting, not just pink frosting.
I don't even like cake very much. So there you go.
What?
There we go. See, there it is. I don't love cake.
I don't know we could do this show anymore.
Why not? You can have all the cake. We can when we do our live show, we can still put that on the rider. you can
and
just
all
have
the
it.
cake.
You just have all the cake, and
it goes right to my luscious ass.
Biology's come a long way. They figured out a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff has to do with gender and all that stuff, and how gender is separate from sex, and gender is wholly a societal construct. A lot of pregnant people, they get ultrasounds, and then the doctor says, "Oh, you've got a boy. Oh, you've got a girl," and it's just like, well, they start imposing gender roles right away before the baby's even born. They buy blue stuff and sports stuff for boys, and they buy pink stuff and frilly rainbow things for girls, and so before the baby's even born, they're like railroading you into a thing. And I really don't think any of that's healthy. I think all of that is extremely unhealthy, because I think just gender roles in general are unhealthy, and I don't think they're really suitable. I've met plenty of cis women that don't like girly things and like traditionally boy things, and I've met plenty of cisgender men that don't like traditional boy things and lean towards feminine things, and I've met a whole lot more people of all the gender spectrum that felt like they couldn't like the things that they like. We talked earlier about being the change you want in the world. I'm not going to have kids, but if I did, I wouldn't assume their gender until they told me what it was. Because you just don't know.
Oh, we're having a boy. I bought a blue AK-47. Like, what?
Exactly.
What?
Let's blow up the yard.
Oh, I got a pack of C4. Don't worry, it's infant style C4.
For kids.
For kids, it's C4 for kids.